Well, I'm Andy Peterson, and I am the Director of Public Policy at the Chamber, as you all know. And just so that it's on video here, we are recording this and we're going to put it up on Google Video for our members to see. So is everyone okay with that?
Yeah. Yes.
Yep.
Good.
Great. Again, it's a conversation. It's not a debate. It's not a forum. I'm not the only one asking questions or talking. This is truly a candid conversation. So let me just say thank you first for attending our conversation today, and then thank you for running for office. It's never an easy thing to put yourself out there and to get your political philosophies out there. Sometimes people love you for them, and sometimes people hate you for them. But that said, I really want to talk today about three general areas. One is economic development. I want to talk about your economic philosophy of, come on in, I want to talk about your economic development. I want to talk about business climate. I want to talk about good government issues. So, and to us, all this kind of lead that conversation. So let's really start out by first making your own introduction and what you're running for, and then we'll start our conversation. So Heather, why don't you go first?
Yes, so my name is Heather Rand. I am running for the 3rd District Council seat. For those that aren't aware of 3rd District, that's the center part of the city, includes Park Point, downtown, Observation Hill, where I live, also up by Skyline Parkway, east and central hillsides.
Good. Go ahead, John.
I'm John Radley, also running for the 3rd District City Council seat. Duluth Central graduate.
Okay.
I'm Charlotte Gardner. I am running for the 3rd District City Council seat, and the 3rd District, as Heather said, encompasses all of those areas, Park Point and the hillside, which is the center of the city. And as the oldest and most diverse part of the city, the 3rd District is truly the heart of Duluth.
And I'm Todd Fedora, and I'm also running for the 3rd District. Oh, I'm sorry, I got a little confused there. I'm running for the 1st District seat, which is ostensibly the neighborhoods of Woodland, Lakeside, and Lester Park. I ran 4 years ago because I was concerned about the direction that the city's going, and certainly we're seeing some of those trends being compounded. So decided to run again, and looking forward to this event for some time.
Great. Now, let's talk about your philosophy of business climate. What is business climate? Anyone want to take a shot at business climate?
I'd be happy to jump in.
Okay, jump in.
You know, actually, business climate is something that I've been pretty fixated on for years, because without healthy, level playing field business climate, there is no tax-based growth. And we found that in areas, whether it's cities, counties, states, where they aren't paying attention to business climate, those businesses and individuals won't continue to thrive. So to me, business climate means everything from quality of life, maybe civic and community services, which could be water, police, fire, those basic core services. But it also means those regulations that business has to basically embrace as they want to go forward and do business within a community. And I have always been concerned when our community embraces maybe some new regulations, or maybe we don't even implement fair and consistently our existing regulations, that really throws a monkey wrench in the business climate. So those are just a couple of things. Of course, to me also business climate, though, would entail workforce and availability of workforce in terms of trained folks.
Anyone else?
From my standpoint, business climate is much the same as what Heather had mentioned. It creates a good, positive environment to create jobs in the city, which I think is what we need. We need to do a better job of creating opportunity for folks to create jobs, especially the bread and butter jobs or the nut and bolt jobs that so many folks rely upon to raise their standard of living and to be able to afford some of the amenities that are important to them as they're rearing their families, so to speak. You have a good environment for businesses, which creates jobs, which creates enthusiasm, which creates prosperity to some extent, which goes back into enthusiasm and attractiveness, and it just kind of lends itself a little bit. And I think that we need to do a better job of fostering the environment, because Duluth has so many positive qualities that employers and employees alike are all striving for.
Okay.
I guess I'd like to take a stab at that too, because and just pick up a little bit on what Todd said and what Heather said. I think that those definitions are true. The other piece that I think is important is to remember that Duluth, I think, we have to do and work harder to be more creative and more forward thinking about the kinds of jobs that we want to attract to our community. And there are a lot of jobs that pay less than $10 an hour. I know a lot of folks who work 2 of them. And there's the medical centers have created a great environment for jobs that are more than $20 an hour, which is absolutely wonderful as well. But what we're lacking, and I'm sure John can attest to this as well, we're lacking mid-range jobs in Duluth. And in my work as child support officer, I have actually done a little research on my own on that. And this was a couple of years ago before the gas and the oil prices increased, so it probably has gone up a little bit. But what I figured out is necessary for people to sustain their lives, just reasonably, not fancy living or anything. It's $14 an hour is the minimum that people need just to be able to maintain their lives.
Now, Charlotte, is that one person or is that a family? Or is
I'm
that...
looking at one person.
Okay.
Yeah, one person. And so families, of course, it would need to be more, but and you obviously know many families that have both people working,
Right.
And that's why, because it costs a lot to maintain and live, just to pay your bills. So what I would like to see us do is attract more jobs in the mid-range, between $14 and $20 an hour. And I'd like to see us attract green-collar jobs, perhaps attract a wind turbine factory here. That would be a very good thing. I'd like to also see green professional jobs, because those indeed are the career opportunities of the future, I believe.
Okay, well, let's talk about, you talk about 12 and $20, and I think
14 and 20.
14 and 20, thank you. I'd like to see even higher than 20.
Yeah.
But that said, how do we do that? You talk about a green collar. That's the first time I've heard that. But how do we attract, or how do we develop jobs that pay in that range and above? Is it attraction? Is it trying to steal from somebody else? Is it trade, where we do more overseas trade and we're exporting more? What is it?
Well, one of the things that you need to take a look at is an intermodal transportation hub. There's been talk about that for years down at the port. You've got so much freight and cargo that's being transported either via rail or sea or truck, and we've got all of those components here in Duluth. Now, obviously, one of the obstacles we have to overcome is the closure of the seaway system in the middle of January, and yet you've got rail that can come in from both coasts, and maybe Duluth could be used as a staging area during the off season for shipping. I certainly think we do too need to create more jobs in the sector that Charlie has mentioned. My viewpoint on that is that if you can attract employers here, in and of itself, the demand for employees should be able to pull that wage scale up. And one of the things we need to do, as I was on the Duluth Airport Authority for 4 years, was continue to incubate or cultivate the aviation-related sectors up at the Duluth Airport. And certainly I hope the City of Duluth is working their tails off to ensure that Cirrus's new single-engine jet manufacturing process is going to be able to be located here in Duluth. We've got the people, we've got the amenities, we've got the transportation systems all built in here, so let's work on it and get it done.
Okay, anyone else want to take a stab at that before I...
I'd love to jump